2, 1. Let me.
What?
Jung, 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 jung. Hello, everybody. So
Hi,
excited
hi.
to be back.
How are you, Yunqing? Long time no see.
Yeah, hi Kevin.
What
Long
is
time no
what
see.
is Yunqing retrograde?
What is Yunqing? Huh? What?
Yes, you haven't seen Yunqing for a long time, right? And then she
Oh.
suddenly like disappeared, and then now she reappear.
So everyone, if you know, I had a surgery right over here. I'm actually having a surgery next one as well.
Next month for what?
Next one as well. It's also the jaw side lah. But I'm meeting a doctor next week. So since we're on the topic about Mars retrograde, right? The funny thing is I'll just chit chat a bit first before we get started, but then we'll go into like the real lessons later. But
Lessons, okay.
not lessons, but then
好。
information. Yeah. So now it's chit chat. So everyone just say hi in the comments, and then I'm just like talking about like my own experience with Mars retrograde because I have a Aries rising birth chart, which means that Mars is my chart ruler.
Yeah, when Mars retrograde happens, right? People who are Aries rising or
Mm.
Aries sun sign, you will feel the impact more lah.
Yeah. So anyway, back to my story is that because what happened was that basically right before the Mars retrograde shadow period, I stopped the lives because I was like mentally preparing myself for the surgery, and like during for a whole 3 weeks ish, I couldn't go live because I was on hospitalization leave, and then it's very I cannot. I need to use that energy out. So I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy to have Kevin again because we started this. Yeah, we started this during the first circuit
April.
breaker. Yeah, and then we were talking about Venus retrograde.
That
we
was
also
our first
talked about
topic,
Mars.
right?
Yeah, so happy. I'm so happy to be able to talk. And then guys, I got braces. I got braces. And then one thing I got braces, right? Then one of the wires inside is like hooking into my in like yeah. And then I cannot find my wax because I'm messy.
You are messy. Okay.
I am very messy. But
Hey,
anyway, yes.
since you started the conversation with
Mm.
surgery lah,
Yes.
your teeth, which is teeth is
Mm.
also part of head. Okay.
Ah.
So this time round, our Mars retrograde is taking place in the very special sign called Aries. Because all 12 signs represent different body parts of our
Okay.
human body lah. Aries represent our face and our head, which is kind of the same thing, right? I mean, your face is in your head. Yeah. And same for your mouth, your teeth, everything is also
Yes.
in a head lah.
Yes.
Yeah. So right, that is Aries, the body part. Okay. Another thing, Mars represent like injury lah, injuries like bleeding lah, this kind of thing. I mean, I don't think you like accidentally got the bleeding, but more like deliberately by dental appointment. So actually, right, it's actually a manifestation of Mars Aries, no? Just that it wasn't an accident for you. It was a dental appointment for you lah.
And
So people always like to ask, right? You have these bad things coming in. How do I like xiam that? Oh, 血光之灾.
血光之灾, yeah.
In Chinese we will say that, right? 血光之灾. Then how do you avoid that? I was like, how do you avoid the
accident?
Actually, what you're doing is actually something very smart, because like in case of people who are very scared of 血光之灾, like, oh, what if I accidentally, injure myself? In this case, right, Yunqing, what you did was to deliberately lose some blood, get injured in a safe environment. Yeah. Safe environment lah, under the care of dentist lah, better than
So
okay.
before it came on, we were talking about the people we know who had like injuries during Mars retrograde.
There are 4 people so far. Just today that I know.
Yeah. So anyway, if you guys have questions about Mars retrograde, put it in the comments as well. We'll get to them as we go along. But I guess the first thing we want to cover is like, what is Mars retrograde? Yeah, so Mars is the planet of action, the planet of desire. So yeah, it's like the god of war as well. So imagine someone like the 300 like naked guys, buff guys.
That's what you're caring about, right? Naked guys.
I care, of course. Yeah.
Muscle.
So these people, they want to go to war, they want to fight, but with the retrograde, they just right. Yes. So they can't. And the worst thing for them is because they are so aggressive, the energy is there, and then there is like the block that is like stopping them from going. There's very much frustration as well, especially for Mars retrograde.
Instead of charging forward, maybe they'll like take a like pause there or even like go stand a bit.
Yeah, I feel like they would just like punch the wall and then it's an over and then they don't get the move.
That really sounds like mass stationary, you know.
Oh,
Take the wall.
okay.
Yeah, very sad. I want to tell you,
Yes.
my own natal chart, right? My own birth chart is a mass stationary.
Oh,
Yeah, means the time when I was born, Mars was stationary. So yeah, how it manifested for me is like one leg step on the accelerator, want to go forward, but the other leg step on the brake, like but then not really moving forward. Yeah, or high inertia to start doing things. Yeah, it's just my excuse for myself being lazy lah. You know, you lazy, don't want to do work, right? Then you say, oh, I got Mars stationary. Blame it on my chart.
Yes, guys. So I also want to show the dates for Mars retrograde. And what we see here is that the actual dates of Mars retrograde is gonna happen in September 10th to November 14th. They don't happen very often. Speaking of which, right, it only happens every 2 years.
Around there, 2 years plus a bit.
Part of me is very excited to see how it actually plays out. So basically, what happened was that I had Mars was trining my Uranus. I was telling Kevin then. So Mars is a planet of like action, and Uranus basically is a planet about where rebellion is one thing, and also like a sudden change, and also I think authenticity is something very Uranus-y. So for me, I had this block then about like the action and authenticity. So I had to like challenge someone about it, speak out about it. Yes.
Just to check, Kepo a bit, since Mars and Aries involved, that communication was like manifested in a conflicting way, right? Like
yes,
argument,
especially for me, yes. Hot-headed definitely was it. It was basically just I cannot anymore, and then
vulgarities.
No, I didn't vulgarity. I just cannot anymore. Yeah. I just cannot, and then I actually like did whatever I did. So I think it's also something like bad in my birth chart as well, where I actually like keep things hidden and then don't really talk about it until like it like 火山爆发, then I come out with it, which is quite bad, which I need to.
This time around is more than 火山爆发, it's 火星爆发.
火星, very good. Yeah, so Kevin, on your end, yes, how do you feel about Mars retrograde?
Oh yeah, just now we talked about two friends who had injuries this period, right? So this afternoon we were having lunch at hawker center, and we're eating halfway, and then the store owner beside me was like closing the gate,
shutter,
like pulling down the shutter. Then the shutter pulled down, right? Don't know why, his head never siam. Then the shutter is like a whole piece of metal, like then hit his head, and he's quite an old uncle, so he cannot hit his head, right? Bam! The whole person like fall on the floor. Then my first thought to my mind is like, Mars Aries, injury to head. That's the first thought lah. But okay. Second thought is I quickly run over and help him out lah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Then I said, oh my god, like I'm going to talk about this tonight.
Sorry, uncle, that you are our 教科书.
Sekali the uncle watching now.
Thank you, uncle. So we are discussing effects for Mars retrograde in general. So basically,
Pimple.
Why? I guess like we should answer why Mars retrograde might bring up pimples. It's very heaty, is it?
Yeah, I mean pimple usually arises from heatiness, right? And then once again, Aries represent face and head, right? So pimples happening at your face. I mean that's a very literal thing, lah. Like heatiness at the face cause pimple. But of course, there's another reason for it, lah. It's also because this period, a lot of people are wearing masks. Mask as in not the planet Mars, but face mask.
Mask. Our English.
Yeah. Mask. People are wearing mask on their faces, and so long hours of wearing mask also can cause pimple lah.
Yes.
Not just for teenagers lah, also most adults. Those adults who work in offices outdoor long hours.
Yeah, I went for facial and then I had to like so many things here. Yeah, and then the worst thing the lady said, if you don't clear this, they will 传染, they will like be contagious. I don't know how true but then it's like quite scary.
I was like, wow, contagious like what? COVID
Yeah, I'm like, okay. The white kids very cute. Popping pimples and bleach 血光之灾. Yeah, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. 血光. Yeah, you can like mitigate the 血光 disaster.